Today I'm going to show you how to make a Hawaiian money lei. Money leis are often given as a graduation present, and not only is it a beautiful gift to give and receive, but it's always much appreciated by a graduate. The traditional Hawaiian money lei has the money flowers this way, so it makes more like a tube of flowers around the neck. The money lei I'm going to show you today how to make, it has the flowers laying flat in the front. And this makes it a little bit more comfortable for the graduate to wear because this portion that's on their neck is just the ribbon, and it's more comfortable, especially as the graduate receives additional leis and they start to pile up. So this lei is also faster to make than a traditional Hawaiian money lei because you're folding fewer of the flowers. So it's just that much easier to make it. We'll start with the ribbon lei. The tutorial for the ribbon lei is in the link below. You'll need money. You'll need double stick tape. For this ribbon lei, we're going to need some narrow 1/8 inch ribbon, a needle and thread, and then some pony beads. Also, the tools that you'll need will be a ruler and a pair of scissors. Now, if you watch other tutorials, some people will just start folding the bills in accordion style, but I've always had a difficult time having my folds be equal in size. So what I do is I take the bill and I fold it carefully in half, lining up the edges. And then you want to crease it sharply and cleanly on that first fold, so everything's lined up neatly. Then what you want to do is fold it in half again. And again, hold all the edges in place so that it's nice and neat, and crease this edge sharply. Now for this last fold, take a couple extra seconds and make sure everything's lined up, and hold them in place and crease it sharply on the edge. And what that does is gives you the folds that are all exactly the same size. You're going to open your bill up, and then you're going to go and start from one end and start making the accordion fold. So when you get here and it wants to fold over, just lay it down, line them up, and there. That's exactly the same size fold. Sometimes the folds you don't have to lay down to crease it, and sometimes you will have to. So just go back and forth and line them up, creasing them. And then the final step is to line all the edges up again, hold them in place, and crease it firmly there. And so there, we've made the first one. And you can see where when you open it up, it will make even creases. So now we're going to go and fold the other bills. So to transform this folded bill into a money flower just takes a few steps. What we're going to do, we want to add this bead as this embellishment in the middle of the flower. And because the puka, or the hole on the bead, is smaller and the ribbon's too thick, I can't just thread it through. I'm going to show you a trick. What you want to do is have any piece of threaded, that doesn't matter, about 20 inches long, fold it in half, and you're going to thread it through the bead so that the bead is on your thread. Lay the thread down, the ribbon is laid on top of the thread, and then we went through the bead this direction, and here's my needle. I want to go back through the bead the way that I first went through. So I'm going back through, let's see if you can see it, and then it's going to pull the ribbon through the bead. Do you see how that's happening? Now I can let go of the thread, hold the bead and one side of the ribbon, pull the other side of the ribbon through, slide the thread off, and then we have the bead on our ribbon. So we have folded it in half so that we know right where the middle of the bill is. What we want to do is we want the bead to end up right on the edge in the center of the bill so that it's in the center of our flower. So to start off, lay it down, make make a knot. And don't worry too much at this point. You just want to have it kind of in the right place. So when you tie it, the bead tends to want to come to the side of the bill, but instead you want it to be here on the edge. So at this point you want to position it correctly where you want it, hold the ribbon in place in the middle of the bill, this direction, and then tie this knot tightly. And that will keep your bead in place in the middle of your flower. So just take the time to make sure that it's in the right place. And then here you can adjust it and slide it. So there, it's in the middle. It's not coming to the side of the bill. So our next step is to get our double stick tape, and you're going to take 2 small pieces, but the first piece will go on the short end of the dollar here at the top, or you could place it at the bottom. And then your second piece of double stick tape will go on the open side of the long edge, and you want to have it be between the fold and the end of the bill. So now you're going to open your folded bills up, and you want to line, see if you can see, line the edges up, the edges of the bill, and then squeeze the edges together. Oh, there went our bead, but that's okay, we can pull it over into place. Squeeze it shut, and there we have half of our flower. So now we do the other side, and there you go. So now that we've made all of our money flowers, and remember we need to have an odd number of them. Now we're going to try laying them out on the lei and see if we have enough or if we want to make some more flowers. And this is where we determine their placement. So the first thing I want to do with my ribbon lei is this is where I'm going to add my bow. So the first thing you want to do is lay 1 flower at the bottom of the lei. So this is where the back of the neck is, and this is the front or the bottom. Then what I want to do is lay the flowers out evenly on each side. So on this lei, it fills in pretty well. Let's see if we added extra flowers just by moving these down. If I added an extra layer of flowers, then it's going to be much more full. So it depends on, again, what your total budget is and how you want the lei to look. If you want a fuller look, like if you wanted to have the flowers overlapping, then you would just need to plan to make some additional flowers. And I think for this graduate that I am going to make it fuller. So I'm going to fold some more money flowers and fill in about up to here. So I've placed each of the money flowers approximately where I'm going to want to have them on the lei. And then I went ahead and I took the bottom flower that'll be at the bottom of the front of the lei, and I simply, with the ribbon tails where we attached our bead, I tied that onto the ribbon lei. So now that one's in place. What I'll do next is I'll work on the next 2 flowers and tie them where I want them to be, and then I'll simply work my way up the lei, and I'll make sure with each step that I'm keeping the flowers approximately level with each other so that the finished lei looks balanced. So now I've tied all my money flowers on the lei, the ribbon lei, and what I'm going to do now is flip it over, and all these loose ribbons where I had tied it onto the ribbon lei, I'm actually going to take a crochet hook and weave them into the body of the ribbon lei. You don't have to do that. You could just snip the ribbon here and leave the raw tails just there. But I like to weave it in, and then I'll trim the ribbon off, maybe about this long. And that just gives it a neater, more finished look. So it really doesn't take that long to make the money lei, and it creates a gift that is beautiful to give and you know will be greatly appreciated. Have fun making your money lei.